Hello, hold on.
We are just doing our admin gubbins.
In fucking bed.
It's a bit of one of them today. Welcome to our world.
Good news is we both have PMT. Actually, you have MT.
Empty. I have empty today.
MT. Oh, we're there. And I've turned the sound off today. Turn the sound off.
Don't we look fabulous? Always look fabulous.
Oh, that was lucky. I did check that.
What's
We
the
are
matter?
live.
We are alive. Johnny Five is alive. I love that film.
Please.
That was such a good film. Oh my god. 80s films were the best.
Oh,
Yes,
often.
Some of them.
Ian's.
Ian's on.
Oh, no.
Meow's on.
Meow's on. Sorry. A family connection was in The Princess Bride. Someone in Ian's family was an extra in The Princess Bride, which is a really cool film.
Was is that Julie Andrews in that one?
No, Robin Wright.
Oh yes, that's a nice one. That is a nice one. I was thinking The Princess Diaries, weren't I think?
Yes, Julie Andrews is in that one.
I wonder if she's nice.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope
too.
Dick Van Dyke as well. I can't remember if he is problematic or not.
I don't think so.
Anyway, we are now in on everything, so we can start the podcast
I've
proper.
gone now.
I am. I don't know if Ian is watching. I said his name again. I can't stop myself. I'm so
There's
sorry.
many Ians in the world, Mel.
Yes.
I think he'll be fine.
Oh, there was a. I haven't said his last name, so that's all right. We're okay with that. So, welcome to Mindful Bollocks, the podcast where spirituality meets real life, and therefore sometimes it will go awry.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's not all incense and perfect lotus poses. We're here to keep it real, a bit messy, and we're always mindful.
And I'm Melanie.
I'm Kay. How are you?
So, yeah, as we said, this is Mindful Bollocks. We will talk about some occasionally spiritual stuff. We don't think I suppose last week was about spiritually. It was Samhain.
Yeah, sorry about it buggering up a bit at the end.
Oh yeah, you lost the last 10 minutes.
But we got a magic cable now.
Maybe we do need to do start recording next week, because then we can upload.
Yeah, I think we were going to do that this week, but then we started chatting and spilling our whole hearts out, and then.
Yeah,
we've had a therapy session this morning.
Yeah. Well, that's the issue with I was actually early, and then we didn't need to have too much setting up to do, so we had another half an hour of just sitting like, okay, what we're going to do now? So we just sort of, let's put the world to rights, which we're going to do now actually. So a quick recap of a little bit of who we are, because we're very new at this podcasting stuff. So this is episode 2. I'm Melanie, sometimes known as Magic Mel. I sort of delved into spiritual side of life from about 2007. I've been doing loads of crazy courses and stuff to try and learn and doing crazy life stuff, which we will talk about in more depth in another episode.
You're going to have to buckle up for that one.
Yeah.
Sorry. You are though.
Yeah.
I'm Kay. Hi. I'm literally me, really. Intuitive, probably natural elementalist, and don't fuck with me because I'll probably know about it before you know you even thought about it. Yeah, that's it really. Hello.
So this week, what are we looking at?
Well, it's really sad actually, Mel.
Yeah, it's been quite I think
a bit of a deep dive into the old. He's no longer a prince.
Yeah. Can you guess what it is?
Can you guess who it is?
So,
with that,
we are going to have some sort of maybe regular bits. So one of them is word of the week, and this week's word is privilege.
It is.
What does it mean to you?
To me, privilege means not having to work as hard as the person next to you sometimes.
Mm.
And it also means that you're lucky as hell if you've got any type of privilege. You talk about white privilege, and that is that is the peak, I think, of privilege.
And male.
And male. I was going to say it, but I weren't because I thought I ain't, because if I get into this, we ain't going to get off it.
That's true.
But that's what privilege is to me. It's something that you haven't earned. It's appeared in your life. You're lucky to have it, and use your privilege.
I'm not sure
positively. That's what I think.
Definitely that. I'm not sure. In some I definitely haven't earned my privilege, but I think some people, the money can be a form of privilege, having lots of money, and some people have worked really hard
to get there.
Yeah, not billionaires. Let's be clear, we're not talking about billionaires, but some people who are moderately well off and they still have monetary privilege, but actually but a lot of people and big businesses who are basically capitalising on
avoiding tax
and
did that pop out? Yes, you did.
And leeching off the lower classes. I hate the idea of the class system, but I have a dictionary definition. I think it was the Oxford Dictionary definition of privilege, which is a special right, advantage or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group.
Immunity's very relevant in this case, isn't it?
I think so, definitely. Absolutely relevant. So, yes, if you haven't worked out, we're talking about Prince Andrew.
Who is no longer
a prince.
Former Prince Andrew.
Sorry. Formerly the royal formerly known as Prince.
I did share that this week.
To be honest,
do you know what? We're actually being quite humorous in this, but the content of what we are about to cover is disgusting.
It is. It's really fucked me over a little bit this week.
I've got 20. I'm going to add it to our. If you go on the link tree, we've got a resource pack. I've got 25 pages on this, including cross-referencing document of court of 3 people's relevance in court. And you just make your own minds up. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything else to do with the research documents, because the rest I'm going to say just off the cuff of my head, because otherwise I'm going to go down a deep dive rabbit hole. I'm going to be in trouble.
Yes, this is all our own opinions.
100% our own opinions, but it is fact based.
Fact-based, yeah.
I fact checked and I fact checked and I fact checked and I've read and I've read and I've read. Mel is equally as careful.
Well, a lot of the information I've got is actually from doing several. One from Netflix documentaries, so they've got good lawyers, and there's also an author called Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor.
Yeah.
Who's just recently written a book, and one of the things I actually watched, which we haven't released the resources document, but it should be there by end of tomorrow maybe.
Yep.
And it will be in our link tree. So he actually has a PhD in history, and his we didn't change. Hold on.
What haven't we changed?
We haven't changed into the. Oh, Ian is. Sorry, Ian.
I saw that. Hello, Ian.
That's it. I'm not looking at myself because it's just up there. That's really cool, and I can just look up to see. So his thesis for his PhD was by biography in intelligence history. So, and he's written a book. So they have some of the stuff that he's been talking about. Actually, they hadn't fully backed it up, so they didn't put it in the book. So, but he's happy enough to.
Oh, so it's a working hypothesis.
So they've only put the bits in the book where they could actually fully nail down the dodgy shit. But,
okay. That's the technical term.
Technically dodgy. And I think you've looked at it more from the
injustice side.
The injustice of
yes.
the women, and so because I've watched again the Netflix and several things around.
Did you watch Panorama last night?
No.
Yeah, that was interesting. Okay, it's available on BBC iPlayer. It's not been taken down yet.
Yeah. So what have you got? What are some of the things that you want to bring up about?
What I want to bring up.
What shite he's been up to.
I think you've got to look from the main. You've got to start at the beginning with the privilege. You know, he's not got the nicest reputation amongst staff.
No.
You know, there is a documentary on YouTube, which I'll link in, where a former staff member who was a member of the police who worked at the palace literally said that he would have people brought in. He would have people brought in who weren't signed in, and they were told just to turn.
Was that the 60 Minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched that one yet.
And did you? His code name started with a C and ended in a T. But that is
rhymes with Hunt.
But that is, I think it's worrying how somebody treats someone who is lesser than them.
Yes.
And who, because you don't have to behave in that manner.
No.
You absolutely don't have to behave in that manner. You don't have to feel that you can. I mean, the thing about the teddy bears as well is very odd. You know, he has a printout. He has many teddies on his bed. I think it's 17 teddies.
I thought it was 26.
Something around there.
Stupidly.
But he has a picture of it.
Yeah.
He has a picture of his teddy bears, and he literally, the staff have to have the teddy bears in the correct order and placed in exactly the order to his picture. And to all intents and purposes, that's not normal behaviour. By any, if you're that worried about your teddies, the fact that you've got 26 or 17 teddies on your bed is up to you. That's your choice anyway. But the fact that you will absolutely obliterate and embarrass someone if they put a teddy bear back wrong. And bear in mind, these are chambermaids. They are young ladies. They are who probably live within the building. So there's none of them getting away from it. But they are, again, it's about control. That's how I read into it. And there's so many alarm bells that have gone off in this. I'll leave that there for a minute. Onto you, Mel, because I'm just going to go mad about how they treat the staff.
Well,
it's privilege again.
The point is, like, one of the things that used to annoy me about the Queen was that she got to see all the laws first, and they got clauses put in to opt them out. So things like you have to I think you have to sign an NDA to go and work there. You sign away your rights to sue them if you get sexually harassed. All of those, you have basically, if you go and work there, you have none of the rights that you would have if you went and worked for any other place. But if you do
actually listen to some former royal staff, they embrace the privilege of being allowed to work for these demigods as they saw it. Because you have to be a certain type of person.
Yeah, we wouldn't be working there.
No. You have to be, unless it was walking the dogs, I'd be really happy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But it's the God complex.
Walking the dogs, though, one of the things that this Andrew was not the former Prince Andrew, the fighter Andrew, said that one of the Queen's corgis savaged one of the footmen's or someone's feet, and her response was, "Well, you just got in his way."
Oh, me.
Yeah, that is, I think they're just. There's something when you were saying about the absolute privilege. It's that was what I was going to say. One of the things that Andrew has said, and then the palace denied, was he had a press interview, and because he literally has no fucking idea how to behave, he told the press, "Oh, we've been lying to you for the last 20 years." And then the palace had to come back and say, "Oh, no, that's not." So the lie so basically the lie he was lying that they lied was basically what they were saying.
Right.
So yeah.
At the end of the day, right, I don't get it. He's an ex-military person. He's on about 22 grand a year military pension. He's living a life beyond his means, isn't he? So where's it all come from?
Well, I
Was
have the
it?
information on that.
That was almost like we planned it.
Yeah, we didn't. But this is
No,
this is a very unplanned one this week.
I
Last
quite
week
like this though.
Yeah, I quite like it actually. And so, obviously, he was made the trade envoy.
Oh right, is that when he sold his mouse?
I've got something about that as well.
Oh god,
But
yeah.
let's talk about the
Blimey.
trade envoy thing first. So, when you're going around being the trade envoy, you would go and stay. I've got two. So you would go and stay in the embassy.
Yeah, you did. That's right, because it's
But he did not.
It's a working holiday.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're working. You're not.
Is this the one where he used to put 2 weeks aside in every time that he went away, and literally was like, I'm not to be contacted. I'll be doing my own thing.
But he'd basically, yeah. So
okay.
he would stay in the hotel so he could easily
Access
sex workers, supposedly, according to the interview that I was watching. But also so he could then meet with other businessmen to further his business, and basically all of them, even down to some of the other royals. For instance, I've got it here. I'm in the way. How do I get rid of that? So I can't get. Let's move us here. So, other royals that have used their royal connection to get paid. Obviously, Sarah Ferguson, who has been trading off the fact that she is still the Duchess of York for 30 years, even though she isn't. Princess Beatrice and Eugenie, Zara Phillips of all, and there was more that I didn't write down.
Why have the girls done that? So they do quite a lot for charity.
But it's a lot. I hate people when they do for charity because it's sorry, Jimmy Savile, who will come up later on. It's like they basically use their royal connection to.
Oh, okay.
They'll go and open things in Saudi Arabia,
as in
and
using their titles for personal gain.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
To one of them, I can't remember which one. It will be was basically also connected to Putin. And was using their connection. Well, I'm a royal person, so I have connection to yeah.
Oh, blimey.
So, yeah. Well, what were we saying? I've got we were talking about the house. You wanted to know about the house. So, Sunhill Park in Berkshire was given to them as a wedding present.
That's right. When their marriage dissolved, it was on the market for a very long time, wasn't it?
So
the public purse was still paying for the upkeep of that building.
They've given it with the view to upgrade. That's not the right word. I'm gonna say upgrade because that's my ADHD brain is only telling me upgrade. They were given it and it was in a quite shit state, but they were supposed to then renovate it. That's the word. And then I think when they split up, when they ended up moving into the Royal Lodge.
Yeah.
They obviously then had this other house that they weren't using, so they sold it, and as you said, it was on the market for a long, long time.
Yeah, it was.
But somehow, despite that, it sold for $3 million over the asking price.
Yes, it did, and it was. He actually arranged it, didn't he, while he was on it trading?
Somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, this was covered actually in the Panorama
really?
Last night as well.
Uh-huh.
And what's interesting is the fact that you actually look at the networking that he was doing was inappropriate.
Yes.
And that's the only way you can, and that's a fact.
Well, that's again using
using your privilege.
It was the reason he was given the trade envoy position was obviously being the spare. Obviously, he wasn't even the spare anymore because he's so far down the succession list now. It was like give him a job to keep him out of trouble.
He's an interesting character in retrospect that he went from the pin-up prince.
Mm-hmm.
In the late 70s, and he was loved.
Selena. The interview with Selena Scott.
Yeah, absolutely loved. He was. I mean, he earned the nickname Randy Andy. That was literally what it was. But the way times have changed and everything's come back on itself. It's just. It's almost the signs were there. If you actually wanted to look.
One of the things I talk about is how he really is the Queen's favourite, and where with other people she would put the country and the monarchy it's as an institution before before them. With Andrew, it was very different. And
It's closeted though, wasn't it? It was almost, he was protected.
Yeah.
There's a protection level.
So, actually, there's something else. And I actually have some personal. So some of the things I was talking about, he was in the Navy. So a lot of it was almost symbolic. Like I think he was in charge. He was in charge of something that was looking after another ship. But
was he a helicopter pilot? Wasn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he was a helicopter pilot.
I think a lot of them, because I've got something about William and helicopters as well. I know something. So I know something about some of the other rocks. It's not. He is like for me. As a child, I had like the Ladybird books of like Lady Di and went from 1981 where they were getting married.
Did you have the ones where you could pop them out and then put the clothes on them?
I don't think so. No.
Oh God, they were fabulous.
Awesome. I do love pop out, but basically, what some of these interviews was Andrew Lowney was saying in some of these interviews was that it's a lot. It's basically how it operates with a lot of royals who go into the forces. Where it's almost like. Oh, the other thing, when he was at school before, he was too lazy, he didn't do his homework, so they had people do his homework for him.
That's privileged child, if ever I've met it.
But it's similar in the Navy, where he literally had hit a ceiling. They really couldn't justify pushing him any further up the ranks. And I think he had honorific Navy titles, like something Rear Admiral.
Is that just through legacy? As in,
possibly.
Yes, because there are certain titles that it's expected for a royal to achieve, aren't there? So that's exactly what you were talking about, the hierarchy of legacy as well. Yeah. There.
So he gets it anyway.
That's another form of privilege.
And wasn't he really pushing to go even higher?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
And Queen Lizzie said no.
He did come back though, didn't he? From the Falklands as a war hero.
Yeah.
Rightly so. He did.
No,
not rightly so. But anyone who comes back from war,
yes,
in the context of normal states, should come back and should be, because that's horrific. Anyone who has to go to war must see things that.
Yes, I agree on some level, but then obviously if he's being pampered and made to look like he's doing all these fabulous things where it's actually somebody else, and that's really for me that's really unfair, and that's.
Well, it's disingenuous, which is my favourite word.
Yes,
this week.
So I'm trying to look at what else. I didn't do this in actual. I thought I was sort of in an order, but it's not. So what we're talking about. Oh yes, I know what I can say about to do with. So one to do with the army. I have a story. Just before lockdown, I went with my mum to Hungerford.
Oh right, okay.
And we went to a really nice cafe there. And because she'd been there before, and she was like, "Oh, you need to come here. We'll meet," because it's sort of in between where we both lived. And we were just sitting there, and there's this guy. I think his partner was off shopping or something. So we just ended up talking to him, and for some reason, he decided to tell us about. He knew somebody who was like the commander of Prince William.
Right, okay.
And apparently when you see Prince William fly in a helicopter, it's really not him, he's in the pilot's seat, but actually it's the co-pilot flying.
Is that to protect Prince William?
Protect his reputation, because he's actually a really shit helicopter pilot.
Really?
Yeah.
But so in this chap's opinion, he is.
This is what I was told. I have no way of verifying it, but this is what he was saying to me. That
I think it's odd that back in the time, though, the working royal family thing is quite odd anyway, because if you are trying to preserve the heirs to the throne and you're putting them into positions of grave danger, to my mind, it didn't feel genuine anyway in some respects.
No, I think Harry was actually he was
serving, wasn't he?
He wanted to.
Yeah. I like Harry though. I think
I like him to the extent that he seems the most normal out of all of them, but he is also a very privileged person.
Yes,
and
he is, but he's born into privilege.
Yes.
It's privilege by birth, isn't it?
But I think also that he, what do I want to say? For me, it's like he's born into privilege, but actually he also milks it a little bit. It's not, you can be born into privilege and actually then he does a lot more than the other royals. It's not, and I absolutely agree that his wife was treated probably differently by the royal family and absolutely the British press, and he was absolutely right to take her the fuck out of it because...
What, to protect her?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think anybody in that situation would have been absolutely obliterated. I think anyone coming into the family who was not of what was the perceived norm in the family would have been absolutely obliterated, because I think that's the nature of the family. I don't think it. I think in actual fact her being from the background she was, but I mean she's got connotations that are uncomfortable in her family as well. She's got a background that doesn't fit to. I mean, it's more Wallace Simpson really. Background,
American divorcee,
and an actress.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, and it is, again, it's the class system. You know, Prince Charles married Diana, who was, to all intents and purposes, a commoner, and then further down, they weren't of similar status, that wouldn't have been allowed to marry, and then Andrew married Sarah Ferguson, who again was further down the ladder.
And did you know something else? Prince Philip was alleged to have had an affair with Sarah Ferguson's mum.
Yes, I do. Yeah, because he was a dirty sod. Yeah. Basically. He was a philanderer. But it was an accepted norm that they could have mistresses.
Yeah. Well, I think, because obviously Lord Mountbatten, who was the last Viceroy of India and was blown up by the IRA on the thing.
And he was also mentor to most of the young royals.
Yes, he also had an open relationship with his wife, but also it looks like possibly like the Queen and Prince Philip had a more open
door relationship.
Yeah, like, you know, just keep it private sort of thing, because he and that's another thing I told you the other day was that another family friend. This is a family friend. Someone else was just some random guy. We met in a cafe. He decided to tell us about Prince William not being able to fly a helicopter. But a family friend used to work on a farm in Sandringham around the time of the perfumer affair.
Christine Keeler,
and he saw Prince Philip in the farmyard where, at the time, Christine Keeler was there. So he is, I think it was shown in The Crown, but it is actually, because I think that's how it got brought up in the family setting, was that they'd all been watching The Crown, and it's like, yes, he was there, I saw him.
And that's the worry, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
so there's a long line of family history of dodgy dealings and extramarital affairs.
I think Mel's hit talking about the extramarital affairs, and the fact is that all families have shit that goes on. All families do. But these guys are in the public eye, and this is why the reaction that has happened on the 30th of October, where titles have been removed, is actually a massive acknowledgement that something has gone on that is not socially acceptable.
Yeah. Yes. I think affairs, that's between the husband and, it's between the parties.
You cannot have, in any way, sense or form of it, one law for us as commoners and a different set of laws for the privileged. You cannot have that because of the divide. And this is where it's become, it's actually damaged our royal family, this matter. So, I am not a royalist, but I am a realist. And I do know that the royal family do bring tourism into the country on a level, and there are people who are in employment because of the royal family, rightly or wrongly so. it is a massive industry in this country.
Yeah, but you say that, but then would people still go to Buckingham Palace? Like, because there's the Palace of Versailles.
Yeah,
that still attracts a hell of a lot of tourism.
I think they would. I think
even if they don't have a royal family anymore.
We don't cut off people's heads at the Tower of London anymore, but people still rock up there, don't they?
Tower of London is
fabulous.
So let's just going through the reason that we called this Princes and Paedophiles is because
did we?
Yes. Well, that's what you. I just rearranged the words. I took your words and then just put them in a different order that I felt flew better.
Slightly different.
But princes, because actually, if you have watched the Netflix documentary on Jimmy Savile, A British Horror Story, which is linked, still available, then now King Charles, obviously Prince Charles at the time, was very, very close to Jimmy Savile, in fact writing to him to say, how can we rehabilitate our public image after, I think it might have been Lockerbie, but...
it was the handling of Lockerbie, wasn't it?
Where they hadn't gone up quickly enough to...
He did court him as a personal advisor.
Yeah.
That's and he did have access to insights into our now King's mind and his thought processes. Savile is a very touchy, pardon the pun, but because literally I think so many people knew.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it was
people were talking about it all the time.
I would also highly recommend watching the first Louis Theroux documentary on Jimmy Savile, and then it is about. Is it? Yeah, it is about. And literally draw your own conclusions onto what you think.
To do with
everything.
To do with the connection with the royals, really.
And to other to charity bases, to hospitals, to everything. He had gone beyond the pale of. He'd used his privilege and his fame to literally not be questioned, and because what was actually happening was being dismissed on such a level that it became almost fictional.
Well, because but if we call him out, then we're going to lose these millions and millions.
We're going to do this and this. It was a balancing act. It was literally the consequence of actually this being called out is going to change the outcome for this. And that's where
we'll throw these people
the
under the bus.
human sacrifice, really, it's absolutely fucking horrific. But again, that's the association. And then you've also got the legacy of the reasoning behind the titles now being removed is too little too late in my mind, because nothing's really changed. You've got the emails that came out from 2011 that Sarah Ferguson had written to Epstein, which they came out in the press 4 weeks ago. Why was there no domino effect immediately? Because if the press know about them, who else knows about them? And how long have they known about them?
Yeah.
That's
the allegation that I saw was that she was the one that actually introduced him to Epstein, as much as because Epstein was already paying for her accommodation in New York.
What, Sarah Ferguson? Which would be right, because she was doing the Slimfast campaign at the time. And she was was profiteering off of a title that would no longer she had right to be using, but it still was. It's so bloody tricky. I mean, he's had an association with Epstein since 1999. That's the
Andrew Lowney said it might even be earlier than that.
I think it's earlier
90s.
than that. Yeah. I think it's earlier than that because the paths crossed. They were invited guests to Ascot. Maxwell and Epstein were invited guests to Ascot, and that's very much inner circle. And credit cards. It's
well, I think that's I think I was when I was a kid. I was it's all, you know, it's because it's all like fairy tale princesses, and it's almost like real life fairy tale princesses. And then as I've got older, I probably moved more into, they're just there. Maybe they bring in some money or whatever. But as I've just got older and I found out more, and I think when I found out that Queen Elizabeth was basically demanding to see all the laws that could affect her beforehand, and making sure it was like to protect the privacy of their wealth.
That's the caveats.
Yeah.
She wanted the caveats in, didn't she? Which, again,
for her and her family.
That's not. But then that's where almost it should be completely separate. The royal family should be completely away from the governing side, and that's where it doesn't marry up, doesn't it? If you, because it's not, because that's giving someone an advantage, and an unfair advantage. That's me like saying, Joe Bloggs in the street saying, "Oh right, okay, let's have a look at the tax laws. You're going to put the tax up again and absolutely obliterate us again because we're just the working man. Let me have a look at that, put a little caveat in, say, oh yeah, but not this address." That's exactly the same principle. And that's wrong. Yeah. That really is wrong.
I think it's also, you can see how much of a privilege that is because they put up with it, because obviously there's also on the other side having that buddy relationship with the government, because there's also obviously that Margaret wasn't allowed to marry. The government said, "Oh, I don't want you to marry." I can't remember what the guy's name was now.
They were properly in love. He was an artist, wasn't he?
Because he was married and getting divorced again. And they were like, "Nope, she can't marry him." So there must be a lot of privilege gained.
Actually, yeah, of course there is.
From being able to, that you were prepared to put up with having people dictate who you can and can't. The British government dictating who your family can and can't marry.
I like Princess Anne. She should have been king. Well, Queen.
Queen, yeah.
But
that's
the succession, the stupid succession laws as well.
Wasn't Prince Charles born first?
Yes, he was, but also she refused, didn't she? She didn't want her children haven't got titles. No. And now that's a ballsy move.
Yeah.
That's ballsy, and actually is to be saluted as far as I'm concerned. I think I've got more respect for her than I have for anybody else. One
of the best ones. I think she can be quite brusque and sometimes rude, but actually she treats her staff really well. I think it said...
Mel, I can be brusque and quite rude.
True.
Yeah. It's nothing to do with anyone else.
I'm never brusque and rude, ever.
You fart rainbows.
I do. What, me? I don't fart.
You certainly do. But literally, this is infuriating because if what has happened had happened to anyone else, it would not be the outcome of a lovely 5-bedroomed house on an estate.
No, it would be a prison cell.
And that is wrong. When there are families who are absolutely desperate for housing, and everything stinks about it, to be honest. Everything, absolutely.
I think it just puts into absolute stark contrast the
them and us.
The them and us.
That's exactly what I've got written down. Them and us. Yeah. Because where do we actually fit into accountabilities? Where do we actually fit into, if you're going to make things one law for somebody else and one law for somebody because we're lesser, then how is there a justice system? The faith's gone. It's a faithless system now.
There was something I read the other day. It's like how you can see that the justice system is. I think one of the things to see the justice system is absolute bullshit. It's like if you steal from your employer, you will be prosecuted, but if your employer steals wages from you, and it happens quite a lot, then nothing happens to them. They won't get prosecuted.
Why is that though?
Because it's not considered theft in that same way.
Do you know what? The amount of time I know people who've done agency jobs and have only been paid partial contracts, and that's not via the agency. That's because people don't put the timesheets through. and you can't query something that you don't know about.
No.
That's shocking, isn't it? It's utterly shocking. You've got very little protection, haven't you, as an employee, in actual fact?
If you're employed, probably got more if you are directly employed, but if it's sort of, because it's
a woolly situation.
One step, if you're agency, you're probably employed by the agency, and it then gets,
more complicated.
Yeah.
There's always bloody complications, aren't there?
Yes. Let's see if I've got anything else. One of the other things that pissed me off that I've written down was how King Charles has rewritten his basic affair with Camilla to be this great love story. Like, they've celebrated 20 years of marriage this year, and I couldn't find it because at the time my partner was getting really arsy. Hello. Really arsy with the fact that they were insisting on saying the 50-year love affair or something like that, because I think they met in 1971, but I'm assuming they didn't start seeing each other till 75. But then it's basically
and then
saying
they married in 82.
Yeah, 81.
81, 82. I think it was 82.
Yeah. With Diana, and then but all that time he was still
extramarital affair.
Yeah.
But that's all okay. But they couldn't get married because she was a divorcee anyway, and then they got married anyway via a special dispensation. Mm. So there we go again. There's another little bit of privilege.
It's one of the other things I do love about, because obviously
Queen
Liz didn't go to the wedding, but then she turned up at the after party in a white suit.
She did, yeah.
She did.
And she rocked it. But she did accept before her death, didn't she? Because she allowed... because Camilla is not Queen Consort, is she? She's actually known as Queen Camilla.
Yeah.
Which is really bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad on every day. Do you think, right, this is subjective and this is purely our opinion, what do you think the push has been for the royal member formerly known as Prince Andrew, now just known as Andrew, the push for the titles to actually go? Because this has been in situ and partially in place since 2022. Do you think it's the fact that potentially our king is unwell, and that there is, I think there may be, this is my opinion, an abdication before, due to his health? I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. And I also think that this is perhaps younger royals who want to whittle down the active royal and working royals that do cost money,
and also clean house to
and does William want that house? Does William want where Andrew was?
Maybe,
because it's, his kids are literally in Windsor in school, aren't they? It would make more geographical sense if nothing else. I don't know, sorry, I just went. I think it's a push from the younger royals. I think otherwise it would, if something's just continuing to stagnate, it's often the older generation that allow it to. There's got to have been a catalyst more than we're...
I mean, obviously the Queen completely doted on him and let him get away with completely anything.
But the Queen is not here anymore.
Yeah, and therefore, and then Charles probably to start with was honouring my mum's memory and how
which you do. You continue. You continue with the patterns that are foretold almost, don't you?
And probably with now possibly moving on to
the next generation.
They're like, no, we need to clean this shit up, because you can see the damage it's doing.
Get that bloody broom and clean house.
Yeah.
There's plenty of hangers on. I think the royal family could be active and working for the country. I think I'm not a royalist, I've said that before, but I do, the elements of tourism and employment, I do think that if you cleaned it up and made it a fresh, to start, I was, when it was the Fab Four, when it was Catherine, William, Meghan and Harry, I thought that was quite refreshing. I thought this is going to be a new generation, it's going to be brand new, out with the old, in with the new. And then, Shitgate happened, didn't it? And then you're just like, I don't know, it's just,
Megxit, or whatever it is, Megxit.
Megxit, yeah.
There's also the Channel 4 documentary where they were looking at Charles and William's private holdings and how they were. So some of the things around there that really fucked me off.
Yeah.
Was it the Duchy of Lancaster, which was the King's, and the Duchy of Cornwall, that's now been passed on to Prince William as the Prince of Wales. And there was, I think, because they own the shoreline up somewhere like in Merseyside, they have to pay the King
a lot of money.
I know
that. I know about
the other one that really fucked me off was the army pay the King a lot of money to store stuff on his land, and I'm like, it's your fucking army
that's
at the end of the day,
isn't it? I know about that one as well. Yeah,
I can't remember where it was, but it was like, it's the army is ultimately partly there to, you have to swear allegiance to the crown.
That's right.
So
and then, so should it not be working hand in hand?
Yeah,
and then
you should
marry along merrily.
No, one of the other ones I was thinking of was Salisbury Plain. I think was also
one. I know about Salisbury Plain. Yeah. Oh bloody hell!
But there's loads, and the other one is again the rule of the other. If people are privileged enough to be landlords, which is a privilege in its own, then actually you're held to a certain standard. Like in 2018, they put the you can't rent out a house that has an energy efficiency rating of lower than F, which is really bad.
That's kind of got no windows.
Yeah. It might have a bit of sheet of plastic up there, I think, to be an F. G is probably no windows. But
it's got
so the Channel 4 documentary showed pictures to a estate agent, pictures of properties that I think, I can't remember for Charles and or it might have been in Cornwall.
Yes, I know about
and
this.
it was like, we wouldn't be able to rent this out because it's so. But again, because they're exempt from any of those laws, they get away with it, and they're literally renting out places that are making people really, really ill. Both of us who have lung issues, we would probably
not make that because of the mould.
Yeah,
that's interestingly about Royal Lodge, because Andrew had a lease on it, didn't he? I think it's a lease.
75 years.
Yeah, his rent was peppercorn rent.
Yeah, literally one peppercorn.
That's not fair.
No.
That actually got me when I read the document on it, and I just thought, I know families who I love who struggle every month with ridiculous amounts of private renting, and you're looking at it, and I thought, how bloody unfair is that? Because on paper he's only earning 22 grand a year from a military pension, and then even out of that he's not paying a bit of bloody rent. I'm trying to
think what the average salary.
It's 27, isn't it? It's 27 grand.
And I would say a lot of people are
don't
actually
even
below
hit
that.
Yeah,
and it's only because some 22. People are so frigging high.
Or they work I think people who are in lesser employed roles at minimum wage have got a massive rent of over 1,000. I know people who are just about scraping by and having to pay £1,200 rent a month, and then because of that they work 60 hours a week on a minimum paid job just to live. That is not fair. If you've got someone who's got a 30 bedroom was it?
Something ridiculous. Yeah.
And they're paying for it with a peppercorn.
Yeah.
What the absolute... what is wrong with this world?
Yeah.
That is...
I want to know,
how much are peppercorns?
Yeah.
And where can I get a lease like this?
I mean, wow. Because you can just go and buy some peppercorns from...
Is the whole world going to... even if you inherit something, you're actually fecked now. If people's houses... literally are just there to pay for their care now when they get old and can't do stuff, or people come in and say that you can't look after this and this because you can't meet their needs. So how the feck does someone who doesn't need this get to live by paying with a frigging peppercorn? It's archaic laws, again, like you said, that work for who they work for and for no one else. That's privilege.
Well, if you get exemption, it's not necessarily that the law is they just have exemption to the laws that govern everybody else
because they're
because of who they are. They're probably even billionaires who have houses, because there was something looking about properties and prices. There was actually places in London
that
are completely empty.
Yeah, opposite Hyde Park.
Yeah,
yeah, that's where you're thinking of.
Yeah,
and that's tax avoidance, isn't it? Because they're owned outside of the country, and then it's when you've got people who are living in bedsits, when you've got no one is better than any frigging one else. No one. The class system, it's unjust, and this is not a world that we should be in any way, shape, or form proud of that we're living in at the moment. Well,
that's why some people are pushing culture wars, is so we don't look at the class. We should be having a class war.
Poverty within the working classes as well is what's getting me. That's the bit that actually how.
Well, politicians are pushing the narrative that people are just sitting there on benefits doing fuck all, but a lot of the people who are on benefits are working full time and they're just not earning enough
to sustain themselves.
Yeah.
So they have to claim housing benefit.
Yeah.
And I think absolutely, why shouldn't they? Everyone should have a living, a right to live a decent level of a life.
There should be certain rights like water, food, housing. Or should be fundamental human rights. Did you know that Australia, not you, USA and Israel are the only two countries that have refused to sign in that food is an irrevocable human right.
What?
Yeah, but apparently according to them it's not. You don't have a right to food. That's just like the thing that keeps everybody alive. It's like, no, we're going to take away your oxygen as well.
That's subsistence.
Yeah.
You have to have subsistence.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, we're lucky enough to have food in our fridge, and then you think about what's in a royal fridge. Our fridge would look shit to that, wouldn't it? But then somebody else's fridge to my fridge would look opulent, and it is just catch yourself sometimes. Think I need to give the world back a little bit more gratitude for where I sit. Because I might not be, but we're okay, you know. Yeah, and we're lucky.
Yeah,
we're privileged. To all intents and purpose, we're privileged.
It's obviously that thing. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you comfort.
A little bit of security.
And security. That's like throwing at people to say, oh, you can't. It's not going to make you happy, but actually, if it's stopping you stressing about can you pay your bills, can you keep a roof over your head and feed your family, then yes, it can buy happiness in that way. It's like the word isn't coming to me, but the ridiculous complete consumption of accumulation of unlimited sources of wealth. No, that cannot. There is a limit on how much happiness that can buy.
That's right.
Elon Musk is a prime example because he looks like a miserable fuck.
He doesn't look happy, does he? No.
He doesn't look like a happy person. In just the way he behaves, he doesn't seem happy.
Is he a robot?
I used to think.
Go. Let's go down the rabbit hole of this one.
Mark Zuckerberg looked like a I thought
bot,
that we were talking about colloidal silver.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was taking that because he had that weird. He looked like
sheen.
Data.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Like that.
Just look like you don't look like the right colour. You know, there's something. It's sort of like
a
bluey tinge.
Red Dwarf.
Oh, Crichton. I love Red Dwarf.
So do I. Chris Barry at his best.
Yes. The Community for the Liberation and Integration of Terrifying Organisms and Their Rehabilitation into Society.
That's what Red Dwarf's done.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Episode 3 of Series 3, The Polymorph. And it's going round.
That was when it had proper Holly in it.
He gets his anger sucked out and he's like... I've actually, it came up recently. We went to the Sci-Fi Weekender and there was someone there dressed as that Rimmer with a little thing, and that was like, that's my favourite. It's like because what's the word when it's just the letters? There's a word when it's
acronym.
The acronym of the Community for the Liberation and Integration of Terrifying Organisms and their Rehabilitation into Society is clitoris, and it just makes me laugh.
Off she goes. Oh my God!
You know me and clitorises.
She's gone again.
That's another story for another time.
If anyone is watching, there will be an episode.
There will be an episode on
or a series.
Yeah, we do need to do a live stream react to that episode, that YouTube video with somebody who I used to live with.
Yes, I think we should.
Yeah,
I think
that
we
would be really.
do.
I haven't watched it yet, so I want the
I know.
Cults to Consciousness one with Ruan.
I thought it was Rowan. I thought that was his name, Rowan, but I know you knew him, so you
Ruan.
say it properly.
So it's a U because it's a U rather than an O.
That's right, but your mind fills in what you want to see, doesn't it?
I'm really terrible with words, and if I haven't heard someone pronounce them, it's like I used to say tincture and put an extra I in rather than tincture.
Tincture. Yeah.
Someone took the piss out of me because he was a chemist, and I thought he was a cunt.
Well, there's absolutely no need to take the piss out of someone.
Just correct someone. Did you realise actually it's pronounced?
But then if colloquialisms, accent and dialect, that'd be like if you corrected people for the way they mispronounce stuff, you'd never go to Scotland. Because that's accent and dialect. You just sit there going, oh no, you've said that wrong, oh gosh, you know. And then you've got rod up your bottom, haven't you? Because you're just like, for God's sake, why are you so bad? You've got a cough today.
Yeah, I did feel a bit chesty because coming in.
Neil's not, my husband's not feeling great. He's got a bad throat as well. Bless him.
I think.
So
we're coming up to, it's 26 minutes past.
Do you know what your sensory sensation?
Actually, I wanted to do the quickly unrewriting history, but a brief one.
Let's do that.
So, one of the things that I was watching, so unrewriting history is where we're told a certain narrative by the people who want us to know a certain thing. It's not necessarily the truth. They're giving us misinformation to sell something. So we all thought that the Newsnight interview was this hard work of them doing lots of fucking hard work to get this interview, and all of a sudden,
wasn't it?
Yeah, Emily Maitlis and I've forgotten the producer's name, who was obviously but actually, it wasn't that way. There's been lots of docudramas about how this all happened like that, but actually what happened was, and I'm going to call it the north of Ireland because I don't say Northern Ireland because I support kneecap, and so Panorama in the north of Ireland were doing this whole expose, and they were trying to giving the palace the right to reply about all the stuff that was going on with Andrew Mountbatten, as he is now called, and Newsnight were actually doing something else.
Yeah.
I want to say Pity in the Park, or it was something like that, but they were trying to get an interview about this other thing, and the palace seized on this opportunity to do a we can not deal with Panorama. Did I say Panama? I meant this is in the Panama Papers as well, where she's doing offshore. Yeah. Doing the money. Talking about Panama. Panorama, we don't talk to them because they're going to give us a really shitty interview. We'll do it with Newsnight. But unfortunately, the royal formerly known as Prince Andrew he just fucked it up for himself. But that was actually still quite a softball interview compared to what he would have had. But So
it fell in their laps, didn't it? It absolutely fell in their laps, and they fitted it in. Yeah. Which was, and she had no concept of what was going to come out of his mouth. No. They were shocked. I think and that just really annoys me, the fact he thought it went really well. Well, he thought it went, but I just think it's just not so bad that they haven't even been truthful about how they got that interview. It's like, we just did so much hard work, and it was actually no, you didn't. I think it's because they actually got the information from. They were ordered to give the information to Newsnight. It was staged. Yeah, it was completely staged. It's this thing as well again where let someone believe what they want to believe.
Yeah, it's a good
to
story.
have got this, you must have done so well.
Yeah.
Let's believe that. It's balls, and a lot of it is perceived truths. We've talked about truth.
And something else I was watching, I don't know if it's even to do with this whole saga that we're talking about now, but I think I've forgotten his name now. He's an American, I think it was in the noughties, and he's an American like talk show host. I want to say it's not Stephen Colbert, but it might be something like that. He coined this word called truthiness.
Truthiness. Truthies.
If it sounds right, we'll believe it as truth.
Yeah,
even though
truth.
yeah,
which truthies actually rolls quite nicely.
Yeah,
I quite like that. It's a truthy. It's a truthy. I would highly recommend, once we have published, to go look at the research documents, make your own minds up, and you'll be furious.
Yes. That we always encourage you to.
There's stuff that I can't say here.
Yeah.
And I won't say here.
Yeah. Yeah, and we always encourage you to not take anything anybody ever tells you as face value.
Please use your own minds and opinions.
Please, please, please.
We're not here to pass judgment, any other judgment than our own. Really.
Yeah, we're just giving our opinions on.
This is pure opinion based, and we will make that very, very.
But on the facts as we have believed to have uncovered them.
The research documents are already available in the whole world. They're out there.
Yes.
It just has taken a hell of a deep dive to get them. They are there. They will be shared on the link tree. But I would not happily or comfortably read through them here because of what would. And I think recourse.
It's also recourse, but also like.
It's too word heavy and it's infuriating. That's.
And there have been so many victims that.
Genuine sadness.
And I think.
And injustice.
Yeah. So, let's move. We're coming to a close now because we're at the hour mark. And we're going to come back to our sensory snapshot. So I'm going to give a quick recap of what it is. So it's got keep connecting with your body. So it's a location of the sensation, the temperature of the sensation. My thing's doing. It's movement. Is it moving around your body, and has it got a texture? So. My sensory snapshot is there was a moment where I felt a flamey, it was actually didn't have a temperature, flamey, I'm using my hands, I need to set my hands. Try not to point to yourself when you're doing it. A flamey, bubbly sensation rising up from just behind my belly button up into just behind my breastbone.
I had a hot prickly sensation in my throat.
Perfect. That is the perfect snapshot. Well done. And I didn't bet them out. You didn't move your hands at all.
No, I didn't, because I knew what I felt.
Yeah. And that's just give it a go.
It's about connect and disconnect, isn't it?
Yeah, connecting in with your body and connecting with what you're feeling, because I think sometimes.
Yeah, and understand what's. I think you can read into it as well. But we're not going to do that today. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much for watching. And next week we're doing what we should have been doing this week, but we decided to put this one in, which is self-awareness. Yeah, self-awareness. So, thank you for watching. I'm pretty sure there's some people at home watching today. So, mwah. And bye-bye. Bye. Love you. Love you all, darling.